6 months ago, I started my YouTube channel. Now, I'm a 40-year-old dad of 2, I'm an introvert, and I fix computers for a living. I'm a bit of a geek, and I'm probably the last person that would have ever expected to create a YouTube channel, but that's what I did. The reason I did it is because I've been building my own online business. 2 years ago, I started learning about digital marketing, and I've been creating this online business. I've been trying to find a way of making an additional income stream in order to fund amazing family experiences. I want to pay for holidays and vacations and take my kids and my wife and show them the world a little bit. So this video is how I got started. I keep getting asked all the time by friends and family and people I've connected with in my Facebook group and online, and they say to me, well, if you're quiet, if you're an introvert, then how did you get started with YouTube? Well, that's what this video is. It's a step-by-step instructions for beginners on how to start your YouTube channel. So if you're ready, let's jump into it. Step number 1 is your why. I've just told you my why. What is your why? Why do you want to create a YouTube channel? Do you want to do it to make money, to learn how to monetize YouTube and to create some extra money so that you can see the world, buy shiny nice things, or create your own business? It could be that you've already got a business and you're looking at using YouTube as a marketing platform. YouTube is really good for local marketing companies because the competition isn't as fierce as, like me, for example, I'm jumping into digital marketing. I'm competing against multi-millionaires. So a bit naive, a bit silly, but hey ho. Whereas local companies, a plumber in Cincinnati, for example, you could go in there, you could create some content on YouTube. People are going to get to see you, hear you. It'll build that little bit of trust where they can learn to resonate with you and like and trust you as well. So it's a great way of building your online presence for small local companies. Or equally, maybe you just want to create a YouTube channel to find like-minded people, to express yourself, to talk about something that you're interested in, a hobby, a passion, something that makes you tick, your little secret weirdness that you want to share with the world. There could be any reason. It doesn't have to be about making money. It could be multiple reasons why you want to create a YouTube channel. So number 2 is we're going to choose our topic, our subject, our niche. Niche. That basically means, what is your channel going to be about? What is it that you're going to talk about, create videos on, create instructions on? What is it all going to be about? Now, you don't have to narrow this down straight away. If you want to keep that pretty broad and just have it as a channel where it's just your name and you can start kind of finding your voice and tailoring your content as and when you feel comfortable that this is the thing you want to do, that's fine. There's no rights or wrong with this. It's about getting that channel created and then getting content out there. So don't worry too much about this part. But yeah, if you can, try and have a think about what the subject is, but keep it broad if you want, narrow it down later. That'll be useful for a couple of things. At some point, we're going to create some channel art, and in there, it'd be good to kind of say what it is that you do. Your description, your about page, it's all similar. There's going to be words in there, keywords, phrases, and it's going to say who you are and what you do. So something to think about. Your content that you're going to be creating is going to be based on this as well. So a couple of pointers. If there's anything out there that you're passionate about, that you feel that you can help people with, that you could teach people, then that is a great one to go for. You don't have to be the expert. If there's something out there that you want to learn, even better, you can follow the learn, do, teach approach, where you learn something and then you do it, you show the results, and then you teach others as you go along. Sometimes that's the best way to create YouTube content because you don't have to be the person at the top of the mountain, the person everyone looks up to. You can be the person that's just one step ahead of everyone else. And if you're one step ahead, or not of everyone else, but if you're one step ahead of some people, then them people are going to look at you and they can recognize that you're not a massive expert, but it makes it feel real and people will like that. So you don't have to be an expert. So have a think about what it is you want to talk about. If it's something you're passionate about, can teach. If it's something that you've always wanted to learn, there's plenty of options out there. Any subject niche. there's 2 billion people on YouTube. YouTube is pretty wide open in terms of content. I've seen some weird and wonderful stuff on there. I mean, I've seen pimple popping and ear cleaning and girls scantily clad talking very quietly into microphones. Doesn't work for me, but you never know. It might be your thing. So have a think about what it is you want to create for your channel. Number 3, who are you going to serve? Who's your audience? So one thing I like to do is write an avatar. So I get a pen and paper and I basically draw out the ideal person of my audience. I give them a name, I give them a hair color, I give them I give them features. I say whether they're overweight because their job's demanding, they don't get time to go to the gym, they've got busy lives, they've got 3 kids, they're worried about money. Draw out what do these people look like, what are their habits, where do they shop, what are the kind of things they buy, what TV programs do they like, what music do they like. Draw it out. A lot of this is just to get a mental picture in your head of that person. And then when you're creating your content, you can think about that person and how you can help them. What is it they need to know? What is it that will benefit them? So if you're trying to create content and videos that will help that person, how does it fit into their lives? What are their pain points and beliefs? It's just an easy way to kind of get into their mind. Another thing you can do is there a collective of people that you're wanting to serve. So your content, are you going to be teaching? By collective of people, I mean like, say, teachers or students or backpackers or army wives or, you know what I mean? There's different types of people in the world. For me, it's introverts. So mine's digital marketing introvert. There's lots and lots of really, really good digital marketing channels. So the angle I've took is basically people like myself, introverts, people that need to use that quiet strength and determination. And sometimes we live in a society that has this extrovert ideal where schools and workplaces almost promote this outgoing, gregarious character that's full of confidence and ready to take on the world and stuff, when in reality, a lot of us don't have that in our personality. And it's almost then kind of pushed back, and as an introvert you kind of felt like you're almost not good enough or you don't fit, and there's loads of different ways of beliefs that generate from that. Well, that's me. That's how I feel, and that's why I created this YouTube channel. So my whole purpose is if I can inspire one person that's introverted, that doesn't feel like they can create a YouTube channel or create a blog, then that's my kind of job done, and I'm happy. So that's why, one of the reasons why I started this channel. So is there a collective of people that you can help as well, that you resonate with, that you like-minded? What happens a lot of the time is we think about who we can serve, who our ideal audience is, and basically we end up going full circle and just looking in the mirror, looking at ourselves and realizing the people we understand the most, the people we understand all their pains, all their agony, it's us. It happens a lot. A lot of my friends are kind of serving audiences and helping people that are very similar to them. So something to bear in mind anyway, but try and figure out your who. Content ideas. So with content ideas, there's actually, have a think of the different types of video you can create. There's multiple different ones. You can do review videos, funny videos, you can do informational videos, you can do reflective videos where you sit there and you talk about the week that you've just had. There's lots of different styles and types of videos that you can do. But for content, the best way of creating content is to look at what's already working, what's already out there. So who are the influencers in your niche and the subject that you want to do? But also think about the questions that people have. So let's, as an example, say that you want to get started as a hairdresser. Now, you could look on YouTube, you could look at hairdressers, and you'll see probably some of the world's finest hairdressers on there, and you're going to feel demotivated and uninspired and just think, I'm not good enough to do this. You'll have that imposter syndrome. You'll think, I'm not doing it. But how many people are looking on YouTube on how to get started as a hairdresser? There's still a market there, there's an audience. So why don't you do that? So have a look at what qualifications do I need as a hairdresser? How do I get started as a hairdresser? What equipment do I need to get started as a hairdresser? Can I work from home as a hairdresser? Do you know what I mean? Take all of the questions that would go into your head, and if these are questions that you've experienced yourself, even better. But have a think about all of the questions. If you were doing something from scratch, how many questions would you have? Write them all down, brainstorm them, get them down, and that's going to be the basis of content that you create. That mingled in with what's already out there, what's working, what are people wanting and watching, what are the questions people have about your particular subject. Number 5, get yourself organized. So you've been told, get organized. So one way I do this is with Trello. That content list that we talked about a moment ago, I have a Trello card, and in that Trello card, I have a list of content ideas that I can go back to. So when I'm feeling particularly uninspired and not quite as motivated, I go back, I look at the list, and I'll do a bit more research based on what I've put into that previously. Another way that I use Trello is to schedule and plan my week. So what I do is I plot it out Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and so on. I put all the days of the week in there, and then I'll write down 3 tasks for every day. 3 tasks. 1 big task, that is the big rock, the boulder, and then 2 smaller tasks. If I don't get them done, it's not the end of the world. Live for the day. If you start beating yourself up and thinking, I've not made progress here, I've not done what I wanted to do, then you're going to bring too much negativity into it. You've got to make it an enjoyable process as well. So if you don't get them done, if work takes over, your 9 to 5 has extra requirements of you, if your kids are ill or you just want to spend time with your family, that's fine. It's about being flexible enough and just keeping them tasks and them goals in mind. But the reason I plan it out, so I have that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and I'll have the 1 big task. If I can take one of them big tasks and finish that each day, then that makes me feel like I'm making continuous progress, continuous improvements. I'm getting 1% better every day. And if you think about in a year's time how much progress that would be, you can look back and it'll feel brilliant. It might not feel massive at the time, but when you can look back and reflect and think, oh, do you remember when I did that? Like, I'm recording this video now, and I know that I've done probably roughly about 100 videos, but that's because I challenged myself, I pushed myself, I went straight in and tried to kick my comfort zone way out the park. So that's sometimes what you've got to do. So just get yourself organized. Another thing is when you're creating your video, you can also batch process. Like tonight, for example, this is the 2nd video I've created tonight. So I'll try and batch them. So I've got my lighting set up and my camera, and everything's in place. So rather than waste time and set it all up again tomorrow to do 1 more video, I've done them tonight. So it's just about creating schedules, creating plans, and being organized as you can, so that you make all the processes around creating your YouTube content as easy as possible for yourself. Number 6, and we've just touched on lighting, is choose your equipment. No excuses. If you've got a smartphone or a laptop with a webcam, then you can get started. The audio quality might not be brilliant. The video quality may not be brilliant, but it's about getting started. Done is better than perfect. So create these habits of creating content. Start your channel up, get it going. Everything else you can fine tune as you go along. It may be that you get 50 videos in, and that's exactly what I did. I got about 40 videos in, I think, and I think it got to my birthday halfway through the year, and my wife said to me, like, what do you want for your birthday? And we don't do big kind of gifts for birthdays and Christmas and stuff. Our money's spent on the kids rather than on us. I was like, I know this sounds really weird, but I'd like a microphone. So, ta-da! I got a microphone for my birthday. So little things like that, little upgrades whenever you can. If you've got the money to go out and buy stuff from the start, brilliant, why not? One other thing I've upgraded to is I bought a ring light. So what you're looking at now, this whiteness that's bouncing off my balding head, is a ring light that I've got, and that's because I'm in the UK. It's currently November when I'm recording this, and it's pitch black outside from about 4:30. So unless you've got good lighting in your house. Now, you don't necessarily need a ring light if you can do your recording in the daytime. If you can do your recording in the daytime, position yourself near a window and use that natural light. It's probably one of the best ways of doing it. But yeah, you don't need a lot of equipment. There's certainly stuff you can add on later, lights, microphone, cameras. You don't need it. It's about getting started. One thing you should do is go and find some of the big influencers you watch on YouTube, have a look at their videos and sort it in order so you can see their oldest ones first. Look at the difference between their oldest ones and the new ones. Don't compare yourself to these big influencers and their new videos where they're using expensive equipment, full production teams. They've got professional editors, professional recording and sound equipment. Don't compare yourself against that. With some of these channels, it's fascinating if you go back and look at their very first videos where they're absolutely rubbish. My kids watch one. They watch one, and it's a young girl that basically opens toys. And as you're probably aware, if you're on YouTube, that was like some of them people have made an absolute fortune, have created huge channels. And when you look at this girl's first videos, she's basically in the garage in a house, and they've got a piece of coloured cardboard behind her, and she's just opening like a couple of cheap toys in front of this piece of cardboard. It's absolutely nothing. Now she is a multi-millionaire. So I'm not saying you're going to become a multi-millionaire, but people have had that level of success. So let's move on to the next step. Number 7 is to set up your channel. This is really easy. I'm going to show you in a video in a second how easy it is. But if you've got a Gmail account, then you basically just go to YouTube and you sign up and register with that Gmail account. Done. Easy. If you haven't got a Gmail account, we'll create one. I'm going to show you in 2 seconds how you do that. Number 8, now you've got that YouTube account, is basically to go in and set up your channel info. So there's an about page where we can fill in some details about what our channel is about, who we are, what it's about, put some keywords in there as well. So keywords are basically words that people search for. And there's a couple of ways that you can find good keywords. One of them is by using Google and one of them is by using YouTube, and they're very similar. Start typing in what you think people would search for around your niche. So for me, I could put affiliate marketing for beginners. And then as you're typing it in, you'll notice you get some automatic suggestions come up. So it's basically about just changing them keywords, looking at the different suggestions that come up and just trying to get an idea of what keywords are relevant to your subject, your niche. Another thing we have to do is the channel art and a little picture of yourself. So a picture of yourself, just try and get a little grinning picture of your beautiful face and stick that in there. The channel art doesn't have to be overcomplicated. Channel art we can actually do in Canva or Snapper. So Canva is a great way of doing it. If you log into Canva, it's free, and it'll also have some like default already defined pictures. So if you just want something for now, something to get you up and running, remember, this is a guide on how to start your YouTube channel, a step-by-step guide for beginners. This isn't how to fine-tune and refine absolutely everything. It's about getting up and running, getting started, and getting that channel underway. So go into Canva, pick one of the default ones, change a couple of things around, maybe change the color scheme or add a picture of yourself in there. Don't overcomplicate it. It doesn't have to be at this point. Number 9 is to film your first video. So this is the scary bit. This is the bit that makes my heart like dun 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 when you press record and then you try and talk and you're like, I'm John Davis, and you lost it. You genuinely, I'm currently sat at the back of my kitchen at, what time are we on? 10 to midnight, and I'm sat here doing this video, and the amount of times I started talking and realized I'm just babbling. I'm talking absolute nonsense. I don't know what I'm doing. So if you can find somewhere that you're comfortable, you're relaxed, that's even better. Just find somewhere where you can just, if you're a good talker anyway, it won't be a problem. But it's not something I'm natural with. I quietly get about things. I quietly do my job. I don't sit there talking all day, so it's a bit of more of an unnatural situation for me. So it depends on you, it depends on your personality, it depends on your strengths and how confident you are. But remember, don't worry about anyone that's going to be watching it. Just concentrate on the now. So I'm just focused now on looking at this camera and talking to my avatar that I created before. You're literally just going to press record and you're going to tell them about your content. A couple of things I like to do is I get my content idea, so generally what the whole video is going to be about, and I'll break it down into bullet points. That way, if I get a little bit lost, I go a little bit off tangent, I can have a quick look at my laptop down there, and I've got some bullet points there that I've written out in a Google Sheet. So Google Sheets, Google Drive, it's all free. So I've created a document in there and I've got some bullet points, and it's just to give me a little bit of a guideline and keep me on track if I get lost, especially for step-by-step instructions like this one, because there's a good chance I'm going to go completely off on a tangent. So that's what I do. But it's about pressing record, going through, If you make a mistake, don't worry about it. Don't be afraid of putting mistakes in your video. It's going to be something that will get better and better and better as you go along. Eventually, you'll look back and you'll laugh at the videos that you created, but don't ever delete them because they show that you're a real person. They show that you're relatable. Like I say, I said this before, have a look at some of the big influencers in your subject. Have a look at their first videos, and I would imagine they are not even close to the quality that they are now if they're successful YouTubers. So take a look. But yeah, press record, deliver your content, try and stay on track, try and give them lists are good because it gives them, they know that eventually you're going to shut up and move on to the next one and the next one and the next one. So I believe there's a sweet spot of about 10 to 15 minutes for video, but I don't necessarily buy into that. The longer the video, the longer your editing time is going to be. And if that video is a flop and doesn't necessarily work, you've just spent more hours doing it. But that's what you've got to do anyway. This isn't an easy route. You're basically going to be creating content and then judging it afterwards, looking at the statistics and looking at how well it's done, how long people watched it for, that kind of thing. So just start creating lots of random content. Get used to filming yourself. Get used to pressing that record button and being able to just talk. But yeah, I would recommend you create a bullet list just so that you can stay on track slightly. Number 10 is to edit your video. Again, don't overcomplicate it. This is about getting started. If you've got any really bad mistakes, some big sections that you need to cut out, that's generally what I do. I will cut them out, and when I edit it, I also use pattern interrupts a little bit. So I'll put some images on there. So I'll find a site like Pixabay or Pexels, and I'll find images that you're allowed to use without having to attribute to the photographer. And I'll just drop them in there randomly. It just takes that distraction away. So it's not just 20, 25 minutes of someone staring at my face. Apologies. I'll drop the odd picture in there just to distract them, just to break things up a bit and give them a break from my beautiful aesthetics. But yeah, that's kind of what I'll do. I'll use these images and break things up. But editing it, if you want any recommendations, video above, I use Filmora. Filmora is really good. It cost me about £50-60, I think, for the year. No, £50-60 for a permanent license. Really good, really easy to pick up and learn. I've never used a video editor before, so that was the first time. But yeah, I'll put a video above that will go into a more detailed review and you can see how I use it. I'm not going to go into that in this because this is about getting started step by step. This isn't about perfecting things. Perfect it later. Now it's about getting your channel up and running. I don't have a Mac. I believe most people that I know that have Macs use ScreenFlow. There are probably free options out there for Windows and Macs, and I know you can get Android apps. I personally wouldn't fancy editing a video on my smartphone because I think it can just be a little bit fiddly. I would always probably recommend using a laptop or computer if possible, but there's ways and means of doing anything. If you're going to be a content creator, you need to be able to do your research. You need to be able to figure things out as well. So you need to be able to just Google stuff and find alternatives and find your own way of doing it. But yeah, if you want a recommendation for Windows, I would use Filmora. Number 11 is to upload your video. So pretty easy. So when you've got the file and it's on your laptop or your computer, whatever you want to name it in YouTube, create the file as that name as well. So rename the file so it's got that same name. You've already exported it from whatever video editor you're using. So now save it as the same title as what you're going to put it in YouTube. And then you literally just go in and upload it. What I would recommend you do, and I'm pretty bad at this to be honest, is try and set a schedule. So if you've got an audience and you know geographically where they are, then maybe you could set it so that your video goes on at 9 o'clock in the morning at that time zone. So you can actually do that. When you're uploading it, there's an option there. You can schedule it or you can upload it now. But there's various different things that you can do when you upload it, and I'm going to go into that in the next step. Step 12, which is optimize your video. By optimize, what I mean is basically when you upload it, there's various different things that you can put in. One of them is called tags. Tags are basically like keywords. So they give it like an association with certain phrases, certain keywords, and some of them are going to be ridiculously competitive. Like I do a lot of videos on affiliate marketing. If I put affiliate marketing as a tag on one of my videos, no one will ever see that because affiliate marketing is huge. There's massive big influencers that are talking about affiliate marketing. Whereas if I put affiliate marketing for one-armed badgers, then if there's any demand for that, I would probably be the #1 video. I mean, there isn't any demand. So obviously you need to find something that's a little bit of a longer keyword. So we call it long tail keywords. So something that's a bit more specific, especially when you're starting up. That is the sweet spot. If you can find videos that people are searching for, but aren't kind of high level stuff that big influencers are going for, then that's how you can slowly start to build your channel. So put your tags in there. If you want a suggestion for something that will automatically create your tags, go to rapidtags.io. And what you do is you go to that website and you put the title of your video into that website, and it will scan YouTube and it'll give you some suggested tags. So if you just want to copy and paste, that is a great way of doing it. You've got some other options as well. Now, what I would like you to do, and I should have told you to do it before this point, is install a Chrome extension. There's two that you can use that are very similar and excellent. They've got free options as well that are brilliant. You don't have to pay for it. There is a paid version with increased functionality, but you don't have to have it. And one is called TubeBuddy, the other is called vidIQ. These are excellent little plugins. They give you all kinds of information and statistics on your videos. They show you watch time and how many likes, and they give you suggested keywords and tags and titles, and it gives you lots of information in there. It tells you how hard it would be to rank a video for that particular word or phrase. There's loads and loads of information in there. The other thing they do is they add all these little shortcuts in that don't normally show. So when you upload a video onto YouTube, you've only got so many options. Whereas if you upload a video using TubeBuddy or vidIQ, you get these extra options where you can click on it and it just takes you into different parts where you can set, say, like an end screen. In other words, when they get to the end of your video, you can basically tell it what to do then. So, you know, when you get to the end, what I want you to do, watch this video right to the end and you'll see my end screen. It'll say subscribe or watch this video next. And that's where you choose what videos you want to put on. So if there's a particular sequence of videos that you want to show to your audience, that's where you can choose it. You can also put suggested videos. So when I keep pointing up and saying, well, you don't need to know this now, but I've got a video for it here, that is where afterwards, when I upload it, I will go to the timeline where I'm pointing up and I will say, at this point, insert a video link in, and then I choose one of my videos. So that's how the YouTube magic happens when it comes to these suggested videos that you see. So there's a few things that you can do to optimize it, but yeah, you'll put your title in, you'll put your tags in, add these little bits of extras like suggested videos, and also put your custom thumbnail in. So custom thumbnail, which I think we probably should have covered in one of the other steps, but we'll cover it now. We'll cover it in Optimize. Custom thumbnail, make it bold, make it clear, make it relevant to what the video is about. Have a look at if you know what the title of your video is going to be, have a search on YouTube and have a look at what the top suggestions are. Create a thumbnail better than theirs. Is it hard? It doesn't have to be. There's a couple of ways you can do this. If you want to spend the time creating graphics, creating thumbnails, I actually enjoy it. I actually find it a little bit therapeutical. I create my own thumbnails whilst I'm doing my video export, because exporting a video takes a long time. So I tend to do my own thumbnails whilst I'm doing that. I'll look at what's there and I'll try and make an improvement on it. If you don't want to do that, and what I should say is I also use Canva again. Canva, excellent. It's already got the dimensions in there. If you go in, you'll click on it and it'll say YouTube thumbnail. Click on that. It'll even give you some suggested ones. But I just go in there. I try and make it bold, clear. I try and put big text in there, occasionally a photo of myself. It's not that hard. A little bit of a learning curve, but it's not that hard. If you do not want to do any of that yourself and you've got the money there, go onto Fiverr, and there are tons and tons of cheap services where there's people that will basically create them for $5. So you go on there, tell them what your video's called, and they'll just create you the thumbnail and send it to you. So I know quite a lot of people that do that because they don't want to they've got better things to spend the time on. They don't want to spend the time creating thumbnails. But there's options there. Learn how to do it yourself, pay someone to do it fairly cheaply. It's up to you. Step 13 is to promote your video. Look at where you've come so far. Look at all the hard work that you've just got through. You have just created your video, you've put it on YouTube, your channel's there, your video's there, it's on there, it's published, now promote it. Tell your friends, tell your Facebook audience, tell your groups, tell whoever you want to do, but promote that video. If you can promote that to the right people, then one of the biggest factors that YouTube likes for ranking your videos and for then suggesting it to other people is watch time. Get them to like your video, get them to subscribe to your channel, get them to leave a comment, get them to watch the video all the way through. As a newbie to YouTube, you are not going to be able to monetize it with adverts up until you reach 4,000 hours of watch time. That is massive. 4,000 hours of watch time is huge. It's going to take a long time to get to that point. So the more people watch, the better. So make sure your parents, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your husband, your wife, make sure that they're watching your videos and they're watching them all the way through. Even if they don't want to listen to them, even if they've no interest whatsoever, get to turn the volume down and leave it running while they go and have a shower. Don't tell YouTube I said that, but yeah, get them to. You want to build up them that watch time. So get on with it, promote it, find your audience, find where they hang out, and maybe offer your video as a suggestion for some of the problems they have. If you're creating content that tells a particular group of people, so it says to teachers, how do you, I don't know, what would a teacher need to know? How do you make money in the summer as a teacher? So maybe if you're a teacher, you're in various Facebook groups, you're on various forums, and you speak to other teachers. You've got some way of communicating with other teachers. If someone ever asks the question, so what do you do in the summer? Is there any way we can make any extra money as a teacher? Oh yeah, I've got a video on that. But you know what I mean? I'm being a little bit flippant there, but wherever your people hang out, if you're creating the right content that can help people, then you're also going to have stuff that you can then refer people to give them the answers to their problems. So go promote. Step 14 is to stay consistent. You've started now, you've done the hard work. That first one was the hardest one you'll do, trust me. After that, it gets easier and easier. Or, not necessarily easier and easier, you push yourself more, you try and do harder videos, harder content. You'll try and spend a bit more time on the editing, maybe a bit more time on the research. It doesn't necessarily get easier, but you're pushing your limits. Your comfort zone has been stretched, and then you want to stretch it again. So it's then about creating habits. Remember before we talked about having a schedule or a plan so that you can keep creating content. Make sure you stick to that. Try and be organized. Try and batch process your video. In other words, record several videos at once. Try and, if you do your own thumbnails, do the same. Batch process your thumbnails. Create 4 or 5 thumbnails so they're all sat ready and you're not going to have to do them again. Try and get as much done in as short a space of time as possible. Try and create processes and systems, but stay consistent. Depending on how you set your channel up at the start, it could be that you, as you go along, after 20 videos, 50 videos, 100 videos, you start to refine your message. You start to realize that when you look at them statistics, that people are coming to your channel, and really your channel was, say, about fatherhood. But now what you're realizing is the videos that get the most engagement, the most views, the most likes are actually about coping with, I don't know, financial worries as a father, and it's more the financial content that you're creating that is getting the engagement. So you can start to tailor a bit more towards that. Start to think about your content. So what other kind of content can I create that is based around financial aspects of being a father and having a family and a home and that kind of thing. So it's about looking at what information you've got there and then tailoring your message and finding your voice, really. And that'll all come with time. But there's no rush to get there. You're not racing anyone. The only competition you've got is yourself. So stay organized, keep planning your content, and keep getting 1% better every single day. Step 15, the last one. This is the last step in this whole video, and this is about monetizing your YouTube channel. So we've gone through a step-by-step guide on how to start your YouTube channel. This is the bit where you make money from it. Now, certain niches, certain subjects, it's not that hard to build up them watch time and build up your subscribers. Others, it's more difficult. So the more competitive niches, it's going to very slowly build up. YouTube introduced some rules that basically says that you cannot choose to show adverts on your channel until you've got 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time. That is a lot. I've done over 100 videos, and I bet I've only got about 200, maybe 250 hours of watch time. I'm in a very competitive niche, but it is tough to get them kind of hours. But you've got to remember, display ads, where you just tick it and YouTube basically will then display adverts through your site and you'll make money off that. That's not the only way to monetize YouTube. A lot of people think it is, but it isn't. The best way to monetize YouTube, in my opinion, is affiliate marketing. In other words, you recommend a product. If someone buys that product through your link, you get a commission. That is the best way to monetize YouTube. So one way that you can do that is in the description box. Every single video that you create, you can point them to a web page, a blog page, a landing page, whatever it is. You can point them to this page. That page can then go off and it could take them to the product that you recommend, or even better, send them to a landing page where you'll then give them something for free. You could give them an ebook, a mini course, a guide, and when they go and get that guide, that free thing, you can then add them into your email system. So you've then got their email address. So they found you on YouTube, you gave them a link and something free. When you've given them that free thing, you've collected their email address. You can then nurture and build that relationship with them. Direct them to your Facebook group, to your blog. Tell them about you. Build up these touch points where they learn about you and your story and how you can help them. That is the best thing about affiliate marketing. Now, affiliate marketing is one of the best ways to make money online. You can apply affiliate marketing to not just YouTube, you can apply it to blogs, Pinterest, Instagram, anything. Any way that there's an audience, you can use affiliate marketing. It's legit. Most of your big companies, most companies will have products that you can promote. So if you've got a channel based on dogs, that's fine. Anything on Amazon, anything on eBay, you can get a commission by promoting them products if someone buys through that link. There's lots of ways of being successful with affiliate marketing. So if affiliate marketing is something you want to know more about, I'm going to put a link to some free training in the description below. In that free training, you're going to see the 3-step strategy of how to make money by promoting other people's products. It's like I say, it's the most legit way of making money on the internet for me. All the big companies have got affiliate schemes, and there's so many different products and services that you can promote. But if you follow that link in the description, that'll give you some free training and it'll show you exactly how you can get started with affiliate marketing, which for me is the best way of monetizing YouTube. So I hope that video was of some use to you. I've gone through and I've done a step-by-step guide of how to start your YouTube channel from a beginner's perspective. And the reason I've done that, the reason that I feel comfortable enough to tell you some of these things is because these are all things I've faced. Like I say, I've only been on YouTube for 6 months. This is completely against the grain for me. This is completely out of my comfort zone. These are all little things, little problems, little steps that I've had to kind of overcome and challenge myself with. But that's what you do. You can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. It's just about getting started. So the first few that you do, you're going to go through them steps and you're going to overthink it. You're going to overcomplicate it. You don't need to. Like say, look at my channel. I've got 100 or so videos and I knew nothing about any of this thing. So like say, if I can do it, you can do it. You've just got to get started. So go back to step 1 and get started tomorrow. Do me a favor, if you could like this video, and in the comments below, I want to hear what your subject is going to be. I want to know all about your YouTube channel. What is it that you're going to create content on? How are you going to serve people? And when are you going to get started? Get started now. Thanks for watching, guys. Cheers.